It's finally time to talk about the CPF Ultimate Guide to the Basic Retirement Sum because we have previously covered the Full Retirement Sum, but what is really the BRS? To put it simply, the Basic Retirement Sum is the minimum amount that you must set aside in your retirement account when you turn 55. It guarantees lifelong monthly payouts via CPF Life when you turn 65, and it is meant to cover your basic living expenses excluding rent. Now you see, here is the fundamental of BRS. It assumes that you have a property to stay already, and this property that you own will cover you till the age of 95. Because if you don't own any property by then, you will need to hit the full retirement sum instead of the basic retirement sum. And if you want to know more about CPF and join like-minded people discussing about retirement, then join us at over 21,000 members in the Honey Money SG Telegram group. But here's the big question about CPF Life. How much monthly payouts are you expected from the BRS? So there's a CPF Life estimator, which is a calculator that kind of assume how much payout you will have based on the following retirement sums, which is the BRS, the FRS, and the ERS. Because it will differ from people to people, and based on the current year's BRS, which is $106,500, it will be around $860 to $930 per month. And then if you were to reach the FRS or ERS, this will be the numbers and the range. So the number may differ depending on your date of birth as well as the amount set aside in your retirement account. Also, the next question is how to set up the BRS when you turn 55. Because I know that for many, FRS is by default, right? The full retirement sum, the number is always the default one. So there's no action required from you if you just want to set up FRS using both your OA and SA combined at 55. But if you want to set up the BRS basic retirement sum, there is some requirements for you. Firstly, you must own a property in Singapore that at least lasts you until the age of 95. And secondly, you must pledge that property to CPF. Later, we'll discuss about pledging. So around your 55th birthday, CPF will ask you to log in and see whether you want to pledge your property for BRS. Once you have confirmed that you will pledge the property, then CPF will only deduct up to BRS level when you turn 55 from your OA and SA combined, which means this BRS amount will be transferred to your RA, then the remaining will go to the OA, because at 55, your SA account will be closed. And that means whatever is remaining in your OA can be fully withdrawable since you have met the basic retirement sum and the requirements of owning that property plus pledging that property. Of course, after you have set aside the BRS, and if you want higher monthly payouts, you can opt in to top up your retirement account up to FRS or even ERS, and all this can be done via the CPF top-up portal. So let's talk about the withdrawal options after 55. Like I said, once the RA is set up with your BRS, you can withdraw the amounts that are above the BRS level in your OA. And just to be clear, even if your RA at 55 did not even meet the BRS level, you are still entitled to withdraw $5,000 from your CPF. That's the minimum amount that you can withdraw from your CPF at 55. But let's discuss a misconception around BRS, which is once you pledge your property, it means you are losing this property to CPF. What do I mean? Many people think that by pledging their property at BRS, it means that whenever they sell the house, then the property, all proceeds must go to CPF. This is not true. Pledging your property simply means that when you sell your house, CPF can just take the difference between the FRS and the BRS amount and use it to top up your RA to the FRS amount. And when you're pledging the property still belongs to you. You can rent it out, you can still stay in it, the ownership still belongs to you. Just that you have to promise CPF when you sell away the property, you must top up the difference in the BRS versus FRS amount first. Okay, then the rest, the remainder, you can cash it out as a proceeds after paying the cost, like the accrued interest and all that stuff. So for example, this year the FRS number is 213,000, BRS is 106,500, which means that BRS is always 50% of the FRS number, and whatever proceeds or profits that you have gained from selling the property need to top up the FRS first, okay? I mean, need to top up the amount up to the FRS first, then the rest you can use it as your proceeds. So what is the BRS number for the next few years then? So far, we can only know of the confirmed numbers up to 2027. because we already know the FRS number, so BRS will be just 50% of those numbers. So for current year is $106,500. For 2026, it will be $110,200. Then for 2027, it will rise to $114,100. So I believe for those of you who are 54, turning 55 soon, you will be at the crossroad. Which retirement account amount should you go for? The BRS, the FRS, or the ERS? I think ultimately it depends on, firstly, whether you own a property, because if you don't own a property, then BRS will be out of question. Because some of you may be living with your kids, okay? You sell away the house, then you're moving with your children. Yeah, such cases exist. And maybe whether you have sufficient money outside of retirement. But I think that one thing everyone can do is to log in and try out the CPF Life estimator to see how much payoffs are they expected to get based on the retirement amount number that they have. Then if you want to build your CPF to FRS for more payouts, you can consider voluntary top-ups like VCFA or RSTU to make it a higher number and also earn some tax relief along the way. Or you can also participate in the MRSS Match Retirement Savings Scheme to get the government to match your contributions. So if you ask me for myself, is BRS even considerable in my opinion? I would say that in the past, I used to just disregard BRS because I really reached FRS for a long time since age of 30, and BRS is like so far away from me, right? But I came to realize that policies can change, and in fact, the most recent big policy change was that SA account will be closed for those members 55 and above. So in the past, we used to treat SA like a high interest savings account after 55 because it has 4% interest and you can withdraw at will since you have already set aside the FRS. But now that the SA has closed, there's no more 4% account. Everything is going to go to the OA at 2.5%. So you think about it, is 2.5% still considered an attractive account for you to put your money in? Alright, so if there are other options that are giving you better than 2.5%, considering the risk, then is it better to just pledge your property, maintain it at BRS, then take out the rest of the funds and go and invest it elsewhere? But you have to take in consideration that at that age in 55, are you still willing to take on higher risks, or are you comfortable to just preserve wealth, preserve your capital? Just so you know, this video is not sponsored by CPF. Okay, so whatever I'm sharing is really from my own research and knowledge. And if you want to support the channel, you can kindly click on this interactive brokers link or scan the QR code right here to support the channel, because every click counts. And thank you if you find this information valuable. So in summary, in the past, I used to not even consider BRS because I'm way above FRS, right? Now I'm taking a second thought because things can change along the way, policies can change. So if you ask me, as a 34-year-old, am I decided on BRS or FRS? I cannot answer you. 20 years later, I will be 54, and just nice, I will be able to make that decision. So one very important thing is to remain flexible with your options, because things can change and things will change. But I guess even if I were to opt for FRS and keeping all the monies in CPF OA, I think it's not a big deal either, because I could still invest the CPF OA funds, which most recently I invested my CPF OA funds through the Poems Mobile Tree platform. In fact, even before Poems, I was investing my CPF OA through Endowers in the Amani Prime USA fund. Yeah, so investing CPF OA is not new to me. In fact, I've been doing this for over 4 years. And if you are interested in my performance after investing my CPF for 4 years, you can refer to this previous video right here.